Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is the Yukitsu Times, welcome to my channel, welcome to more Shogun 2 Total War, getting in shape. Back to our regular schedule where I'm just going to play a few matches. I found another bow dojo that I missed way over down here. It's going to earn me those bow warrior monks that I wanted. Let's see, we've got ourselves an 8-star general here. It looks like he's a famous leader and a swordsman. Favors a balanced army, so he's going to have a bit of a leadership advantage on his guy. We've got Hapo Ridge for this one. This one's a little bit of a peculiar map. I think my army composition is going to be fine for it. Not much else to say here. Things are looking pretty normal, I'd say. Gonna want to try and avoid letting him maneuver around me too much, since I'm not taking too much cavalry. I've only got 2 Yari cavalry. Gonna have to be quite careful with them, since they're going to be very important if my opponent takes a lot of mobile units. Hopefully, should be able to pull through this one. Never underestimate an 8-star general. They're usually pretty experienced to this game. But of course, hopefully, maybe he'll underestimate me. I am only currently a 5-star general, so might think that I'm a noob or something. That'd be nice. Let's see. Don't recognize his clan, but I don't think anyone really recognizes mine either, since I'm the only one in it. Technically, it's a TF2 clan, but I just sort of joined it here. Looks like he's still adjusting his army, so I'll give him a little bit more time. But looks like he's just about finished here. I wish they'd update the funds left over here without you having to click back and forth between portraits, but it's not a really big deal, so. Fortunately, my opponent favors a balanced army, so I don't have to worry too much about any sort of real ridiculous cheese, but still. Oh, he said, you are ready. Yes, I am ready, but, seems like he's ready too, so that'll work out in the end. So this map is a little bit odd. It's a very good map for guns in many respects, but it's a little bit less good than, I can't remember the name of the map though. It's another ridge map that doesn't have the trees in the center. Very similar one in some respects. It's still got the capture points on the left and right sides. I think this one also has one in the center. So, yeah, not much to say about this particular map other than that it's a very peculiar one. It forces you to fight in a very narrow front. Flanking is a little bit difficult here, so you don't want to try to have a high priority on flanking with infantry. If you're going to do any of that, you need to do it with cavalry. But this should be an interesting match. Let's see. My opponent has the Metsuke Inspector. I think he was trying to... I forget what that cancels. Cancels the Shinobi Informer, and he's got Bandit Horse Thieves, which isn't going to affect me too much since I don't have too much cavalry. So, I don't mind his retainers all that much. But let's get our infantry already lined up. It's an archery one in the center. We could get into an archery fight potentially here. I'm not going to rule that out given my army composition, so I'm going to contest it. Going to keep my spears in the back for now. I'm going to keep these guys sort of there. So, actually, let's keep these spears further up front in case I need to counter any funny stuff from cavalry. General can be guarded well enough by the Naginata warrior monks. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this combination of units, so let's get moving here. Let's see, he's got bow samurai. He's got 2 katana samurai, Yari Ashigaru, 3 katana samurai. He also has Naginata warrior monks. He's got quite a lot of Ashigaru. I don't think this is his entire army. This doesn't look like an entire army. But yeah, let's see how things go here. He has no matchlocks from the face of it, but something feels like it's up here. Yeah. Yeah, there are hidden Yari Ashigaru down there. Oh, he's seen them. Now, the question is, can I beat his bow samurai with my 2 foot samurai? And I think the answer to that is yes. So I'm going to contest these buildings here. Oh, he's charging right in. Nope, stopped, stopped. Okay. Yeah, he's really trying to get around my flank here. He's losing some guys to gunfire, though. He's kind of exposed on that ridge there. Yeah, he's charging in. So let's try and respond here. Okay, I think I'm set up pretty well here, in all honesty. See if you have anything on that side. Not paying enough attention there, so I'm probably going to lose this ball of units here, but almost have my war cry here, so that should be okay. Now, he might be surprised to find that my, what's it called? Bows are a very good melee unit. Broken his cavalry on that side. Let's go break his cavalry over here. Got a war cry up, so let's use it. And that's going to shatter his flank over here. Like I said, you can't really come up my flank in this particular instance, so he shouldn't have tried to get up that flank with that infantry. Let's just set these guys to melee, charge them in there. His bows are still pegging away, but I'm not too worried about them. So, oh, those are Naginata warrior monks. I was not paying attention there. Still, chased off the last of his cavalry. Put my cavalry way out of position, but he had more of it, so that's perfectly fine. So let's get these Naginata warrior monks to start chasing that those archers down. Get these guys to chase them down as well. And this is probably going to be game. Matchlock Ashigaru are all torn to pieces, but that's fine. So going in for a bit of a rear charge here, but it's into a spear wall, technically. I think that's going to end poorly for his general. And yeah, his units have started to break en masse. So he had a very effective sort of rush strategy in mind in general there, but wasn't quite well coordinated enough, and I don't think it was with the right units. Caught me around the backside when I lost track of one of his cavalry units, but yeah, it's not necessarily going to be a good idea to split your forces to get those rear charges if you're not going to be able to do a decisive breakthrough with it, and my units were grouped together much more tightly and compactly, so I was able to really concentrate my forces on each of his units as he was trying to fight me. Now, he did do something that's very intelligent in this particular scenario. Since I did have so much more shooting than him and so much more invested in shooting, it is very vital for him to charge straight forward into my units, not sort of try and delay it. If you try and delay the melee fight when you've got a major shooting disadvantage, you're just letting me use my advantage up as best I could. But on the other hand, that is what I took those guns for. It wasn't to cause the kills, it's to force my opponent into my formation, which gives me an advantage. Well on our way to 6 stars, that'll be nice. Opened up Totomi. Unlocked Bow Warrior Monks, who I'm going to start using quite frequently. They're a very good unit. They're one that I'm quite used to using. Got our clan influence points and our clan tokens. Nothing too important there. Nothing really to do with them yet, since none of my guys are veteran enough. Yari Ashigaru again. No. I keep doing well with Yari Ashigaru. I'd really like it if I didn't. It's kind of ironic, the irony of those guys. A lot of experience for my Katana Samurai. They got 92 and 130 kills. This one got 117 kills, and their casualties weren't too bad either. Obviously, they were cutting through very weak, inexpensive units because they've only got like 300, 348, and so on and so forth experience points. You get more experience points for killing tougher units. My Waker Raiders got 115 kills, 570 experience. Naginata Warrior Monks, I kind of wish they had gotten that upgrade. They have 104 kills, very good. Yari Ashigaru, the ones that would have got promoted, have 108 kills, 77 on the other one. Both my Matchlock units did pretty poorly, but they did what they were meant to do. 42 kills on one of them is not too terrible. The reason I don't really worry too much about my Matchlocks once I'm in a melee that's like that is they don't have very many things to shoot. It's hard to get a good angle on a target of opportunity with them. Foot Samurai, both cases, 60 and 50 kills. Not great, but not terrible either. They're a pretty solid unit. The reason I took them is that they've got such high armor that they can usually win archery duels, but their low numbers means they're not good at picking out anything other than enemy archers in any realistic sense. My cavalry completely dominated his, and that was because I had the really strong downhill charges in both cases against his cavalry, which really let me destroy them without much effort. You can look at his cavalry. They did very poorly. His general got 62 kills. That's the advantage of a sort of melee swordsman general, but it's not really enough to sort of counteract the leadership bonuses that my general is giving my army. If you look here, Bow Samurai, 88 losses, 26 kills, and they were kind of shooting at my Ashigaru and at my foot archers. They just aren't quite as strong in the archery skirmishing as the foot samurai, just because their armor is lower, but they come in a larger unit, which is makes them better at firing at something like, say, my Naginata Warrior Monks if they were shooting at them, or getting rid of the matchlocks faster. The Bow Samurai are better at both of those things. His Naginata Warrior Monks got 98 losses and 68 kills. I'm not really sure why they did so poorly, even with his army doing as it was. That should have done more. Yari Samurai, 56 kills. That's not actually that bad for a Yari Samurai. His Katana Samurai, 69 kills, 54 kills, and 38 kills. Pretty decent numbers in all honesty. It's just not enough given the compositions that we had here. His Yari Ashigaru, all three cases, since mine were in spear wall formation, they managed to get 108 and 77 kills. His charged forward, so they got 20, 28, and 36 kills. And like I was talking about with that spear army composition that I was talking about, that's the difference between a spear wall and a not a spear wall. Lastly, Naginata attendants, they were a screen. They were meant to just run in and get killed, so they have 4 kills, 59 losses, and that's perfectly acceptable for them. Anyhow, that's that fight. And we're back. Got another army set up. This one's going to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit less on the shooting, but still quite a bit. I've added those Bow Warrior Monks, which are very expensive, but very good. We're going for another artillery place that will get us those useless firebomb throwers, but it's just another stepping stone on the way to something better. So let's see what we got here. We got a 6-star classic army, so he favors a balanced army. He's a skilled swordsman, so his general is going to be very tough in the melee. He's already set up. I'm just going to wait a little bit to check out here. If you look at my army, you can see it's got these no-dachi samurai. It's going to be a little bit more aggressive in that regard. We've got a Gorge Map, so again, flanking is going to be a little bit different here. This one's the opposite type of map, where those flanks, if you get the high ground there, you can get a very strong downhill charge. It just takes a little bit more effort to get up there in the first place. So this is a very strong map for those sort of strong flanking attacks. I think I'll have to use my Naginata attendants screen sort of my back end against cavalry charges, while I use my stronger Yari Ashigaru from the front to fend off a more direct cavalry assault. But oh no, I'm thinking of a different map. No, actually this is kind of the map I was thinking about. It's just I forgot that there's such a dip before we get there. But basically, you try and sort of aim for that center because it's easier to run up there. And if it looks like your opponent's going for one of the other hills, you just go for the other and siege him out if you can. Or if you've got a very aggressive army and he's got a very defensive army, you can just charge straight up the hill at whatever hill he's going for. So generally, though, you end up fighting between the hills here a little bit since it's much faster to get there. If you go for one of the high ground sets, you're going to find that your opponent usually gets there way before you do. Alright, and it's a sword dojo there, so it's a very good one to go for. Just rush straight in for it. We're going to line up our troops. Get our bows ready. Going to have our spears directly behind them. Our swords directly behind that. Our no dachi, we want to be a sort of decisive breaking force. And the way I'm going to deploy them is off on this flank here. General back here. Going to have him guarded by Naginata attendants and cavalry. So this looks like a relatively strong formation. The problem that I'm going to have is that my Nodachi are going to have difficulty getting up this hill. And, you know, that could potentially be a problem since that is such a steep hill. I'm going to adjust a little bit to the right to make it a little bit more even for my army. And I'm going to actually degroup this one set and have them go for that shrine over there. Very steep hill to get up there to the morale shrine, so hopefully that'll pay off. Take them forever to get up there, but they're a cheap throwaway unit, so that's perfectly fine. Over here is an archery shrine. My army isn't really focused around shooting enough to make that worthwhile. If for whatever reason my opponent can just blitz this hill and I can't do anything to react to it, I can always take that shrine to give myself a shooting advantage and shoot my way up the hill. That's only if my opponent takes no shooting of his own. Okay. So my opponent must have some hidden units. In fact, he must have quite a lot of hidden units since this is a very small army. He's got some very veteran Diari samurai. He's got some katana samurai and lone swords. He's got warrior nuns and katana samurai. So he's got either ninjas or hidden units of some sort. I'm just going to try and look at these shrines to see if any of these look like they're being captured. But he's got very limited shooting, so I've got that advantage. And it looks like he's going for the top of this hill. So I'll get to this melee shrine way before he can get to the top of that hill. And hopefully start plugging away at him a little bit. I'm going to rush my cavalry up here. That way I can sort of get a quick charge against him if he tries to rush this too fast. What I'm guessing is that he's inching cavalry along one of the flanks, but I don't see any on the map that really lead to anywhere decisive. Maybe he could deploy units that'll edge their way up to this morale shrine, but I don't think so, so we'll have to find out there. Gonna want to start firing at these Matchlock Ashigaru right away. As soon as we can. Thanks to my general's anti-morale penalty aura, this is going to be a much easier climb than it would otherwise be. Hopefully my guys are going to set themselves up into a hiding position before he can open fire with his guns. He's got his units set to rapid advance. That's fine by me. Looks like he's going to try to rush in. And he's going to run them straight into my gun range, so I get those first volleys. General's in danger apparently, but not so bad that I'm going to worry about it. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's got a lot of hidden cavalry over there. So I'm going to have to rush forward. Going to spear wall these guys in the center. Going to rush another unit to reinforce this flank. And we're going to get our units over here to help screen against this cavalry.
Get our units all moraled up, thanks to my general here. Let's get our cavalry around the back. I don't want them anywhere near those spears. But as you can see, his units are a lot more tired than mine. So this is going to be a very devastating charge. He has a lot of cavalry there, Jesus. Oops, this cavalry is stuck in spears. That's not ideal. Let's break our way through there. Uh-oh. Yeah, this has all turned into quite a mess. But looks like my opponent started to chain route. Let's get our units pushed through here. I need them to go hunt down the rest of his cavalry. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to overwhelm my opponent. His cavalry strike was a little bit too late, it looks like. And it looks like the strength of my infantry just really pulled through there in the end. That was a little bit close. If my units had started chain routing from that cav assault, I would have been in a lot of trouble. But as you can see, like when we both were doing it simultaneously, the guy with the superior infantry is going to win out in the end, and I did take the superior infantry to my opponent. I didn't end up using my bonsai charge here very effectively, but I kind of didn't feel like I needed it at the time, since I was getting a bad sort of angle since he was charging on the one side clumped up against this building. I probably should have used it anyway, but I figured I'd probably hold on to it in case I needed to hold firm against something. The reason that it's acceptable for my opponent to have done that is that, you know, it protected him against my bonsai charge, but on the other hand, it clumped up his units, and that really gave me an advantage in that melee fight, that melee infantry fight. So my opponent couldn't really afford to have his units clumped up against the building like that. He probably should have spread them out and accepted tried to send a more durable unit to try and face my Nodachis in a good charge, but then again, all his units were fairly expensive, so he didn't have any sacrificial units that could have soaked up the charge and then had something follow through. Anyhow, clawing our way up to rank 6, pretty close now. Firebomb throwers, who are absolutely useless. The only reason I'm getting that at all is because I want to get access to the fire rockets, which are an excellent unit that I enjoy using. Hopefully we won't get Moriari Ashigaru veterans, but I kind of... That's even worse. Naginata attendant veterans, jeez. Alright, let's check out our unit statistics. Yeah, our Nodachi Samurai, they got charged in the back by those cavalry, actually. They were the ones that got hit by that. We've got 46 kills on one Katana Samurai, 41 on the others. 107 on one, 128 on another. My Yaris got 58. Not sure how they were getting killed so heavily by those units while they were in spear wall formation. That was a little bit peculiar to me, but it happens sometimes. My bow warrior monks didn't get much of a chance to shine there. My opponent charged straight in as he should have. My matchlock samurai also didn't get much chance to do much. They got 67 kills, which isn't bad, and that's enough to get them a level. Both my Yari cavalry units did excellent. 102 kills, 76 kills. Naginata attendants, they were a sacrificial screen, but in this case, the fact that they were able to get those 44 kills against cavalry made them incredibly useful. That's a very good exchange on them, and that's why I brought them as screen against cavalry. I didn't think they'd have to screen against quite that much cavalry, but it worked out in the end. So, looking at his army composition, his avatar was a sword general, a leader, swordsmanship general. 55 kills, that's not very good. 50 kills on one Katana Samurai, 85 on the other. That's pretty decent. His Lone Sword Ashigaru managed to get 81 kills, which I find a little bit odd. His warrior nuns, which are a very, very powerful melee unit, got 39 kills. The problem with them is that they have such a small unit size, so if your army is doing poorly, they'll tend to break before they can get a significant number of kills in. But if your army as a whole is doing well, they tend to do well as well. His Yari Samurai, 29 kills, 28 kills. Again, I don't really like them, don't take them. Matchlock Ashigaru, his 46 kills. That's not too terrible, not great either, but his Naginata Warrior Monk Cavalry, 54 kills and 63 kills. His cavalry is actually Katana Cavalry. I didn't notice that during the midst of that, but he has 70 kills and 53 kills. All his cav did pretty much what you expect of cavalry units. No one did exceptionally well, no one did exceptionally poorly in there, yeah, I'm not sure if I'd really agree with that composition, just because Katana Cavalry so easily shut down by things like my Yari Cavalry. My one unit of Yari Cavalry probably could have taken both of those units of Katana Cavalry just because of the bonus versus spears. Anyhow, yeah, that one was these are fairly interesting matches. My opponents seem to be just sort of rushing me, which is, you know, good and bad. It makes it a little bit easier for me to beat them in some respects, but also it makes the matches very quick and kind of over in a second in a flurry of action, which is both good and bad, I suppose. I'm gonna go look for the next, there it is, Siege Workshop, and this is going to be our last fight of the day. I'll see you back soon as... And we're back. This time we've got a slightly less conventional army. I've got far less infantry. We'll see how that works out and see if that's viable once we've seen our opponent in the map. Hopefully it'll be good. This is the region that will unlock the rockets for us, and that'll be a unit I'll be using in the future. We'll give them a try. They've been nerfed a lot. Oh, I'm going to have to adjust my army quite a bit. My opponent's a 2-star general, so he's a bowman and a leader and a swordsman, so he's a little bit of everything. I'm going to have to get rid of quite a lot of expensive units here, but can probably... Let's add this back in here. Let's take away you and these two. Let's modify our army. Oh great, my opponent's decided to ready up already and I'm nowhere near ready. Okay, we're going to use Lone Sword Ashigaru just because that's what we can afford right now. We can afford 900 other units in other units. What have we got? Yeah, I've got these bows. Let's take them. And let's take... Oh, where are they? Naginata Attendants. Okay, so this is going to be a decent all-rounder style army. So, hopefully this is going to be a decent setup against my opponent. If he's gone heavy cavalry, I'll be in a little bit of trouble since I don't have my own cavalry in this particular matchup. Hopefully I'll be able to punch my way through him with my spears if he does have some, but I won't be able to chase or anything like that. Oh, good lord. 1 second. Weather's bad. My dog doesn't like it when there's bad weather, so hopefully he'll calm down a little bit. Anyway, my opponent was sort of complaining about how we're disparate level generals, and to a certain degree that's fair, but on the other hand, like, I think I've shown that you can sort of still win these if you're a lower level than your opponent. So, okay, so I don't think that's necessarily, you know, too valid a complaint. My dog's a big chicken. It's kind of cute, but sometimes you're trying to do something. Anyway, let's get these guys up here. And I want to get these guys up here much higher. He doesn't want to go outside, so I'm just going to sort of have to bear with him here. He's got quite a lot of cavalry, it looks like. He's got Naginata Warrior Monk Cavalry, 3 of them. He's got his Avatar's Bodyguard, and it looks like he's got Naginata Warrior Monk Hero and Yari Samurai. So, guns going to be very important. I'm going to have to keep them alive. If I can't shoot at his infantry at least once, I'm going to be in severe trouble. See if I can get a shot off against these units here. And the unfortunate thing here is that my some of my units are relatively useless. My swords aren't going to be much help here. On the other hand, you let me get off a good volley against his Naginata Warrior Monk Cavalry there. Looks like his general's pegging away at my archers in return, but he's only got 2 kills. going to run in, it seems. Okay, well, I'm going to have to do something there, but it doesn't look like there's any great options. The thing is that I can sort of win this combat here. As long as I get in a decent position. Thing is that he's come back around to get these guys, so they're not going to last. I'm going to have to go try and inspire them or something with my general. He's charged his general into my spears for some reason here. So even though he's going to pancake those guys pretty effectively, I don't think that he's going to be able to win this fight in the general sense.
Our men are running from the battlefield. Shame for this place.
So there goes his general, basically. Looks like I am going to get those shots off against his units as they come in here. Okay, let's, oops, that's the wrong button. Oh, shoot. Oh, well. Okay, well, those guys are gone. I was going to hit rally, but I hit the wrong button. Which is, you know, a bit of a noob mistake, but whatever. Okay, so that calf threat's dead. We're just going to start pegging away at whatever's left of his army here. He's got the archery dojo. That's not all that vital to either of us, so I'm not going to worry about it. Just gonna charge straight into my spear wall. I do apologize for my dog here.
Our hidden units have been discovered, my lord.
Oh, these guys did rally. That's fantastic. Oh, crap. Do not engage the heroes head on. Okay, so redeploy these guys here. Let's get our guns facing over towards those heroes, if I can. Looks like I'm going to have to fight these warrior monk cavalry with my lone sword Ashigaru over there. But he's broken on this side, so that's fine. Let's get our Yari Ashigaru in there, but let's run away with our lone swords. All I want to do is distract him long enough for my guns to set up. Let's get the rest of these units over here. Get these bow cavalry firing away at his hero unit. They're going to last a long, long time in this melee. Fortunately, I think my lone sword should be able to beat these Naginata warrior monks here. I've got the higher veterancy. I've got a slight advantage in some respects here. Okay, so I'm gonna get those shots off and then run away. Yeah, my unit's clearly outmatched there. Going to charge in with my second unit. Those hero units are going to be a problem, so they're going to be able to plow their way through multiples of my units. And there we won. Hold on one sec while I just go check my dog. I don't think there's anything I can do about it because I think he can hear lightning in the distance, and if you don't know, this dogs freak out when there's... Okay, hopefully we're back. Don't be surprised if I have to... Oh yeah, no, already. Okay, and we're back. He's decided to sort of hide outside in under a chair, so that'll be how he deals with this for now. Anyway, let's look at our unit statistics. As you can see, I've got these fire rockets, and I had another veteran spear unit that I've declined because that's all I seem to get. My lone sword Ashigaru, they did relatively poorly. They were against heroes, and they were against cavalry. Not exactly the sort of thing you want to match them up against, but one of them did get a rank up from that. Waco Raiders, they were against cavalry, quite a lot of it. Got 71 kills. That's not too bad, all things considered. Got another chevron. Both my units of Yari Ashigaru, 45 and 40 kills. Again, they were against very high quality units. That's pretty decent. My match-like Ashigaru, 34 kills. They got some of those heroes. They're the ones doing the kills against those. My bow cavalry, 54 kills. Also excellent considering what they were fighting. So let's look at our opponent's army here. One of his Naginata warrior monks did a little bit above average, but if you just look at his composition, you can see like three of those units just were not meant to get kills. They were designed to get about 60 kills and then die. and that's pretty much what they did. All his cavalry units just sort of got a fair number and then were eliminated. His Naginata warrior monk heroes got 31 kills. That's not too terrible, but it is really bad for a hero unit. It's mostly because he quit before the battle could finish normally. His general plowed straight into melee as a melee general. That's sort of what they do. 50 kills is not bad, but he threw away his general very early. His Yari Samurai, 26 kills. That's not great. Charging up a hill into Yari Ashigaru. So my opponent, I think, was just sort of trying to do a quick throwaway game there, but I don't think it was anything too effective, and I don't think he was trying anything that he believed would necessarily beat me. So, you know, my advice to you is make sure that you've got a more sort of solid core to your army instead of relying on those cavalry units and a hero unit. That's not really going to cut it. You're going to find out that your army just doesn't have enough backbone to go up against a full army that's more well-rounded. Anyway, I think that's going to be the last match for today. I hope you found this informative, and I hope to see you all next time.